Imagine you slept for just one night and woke up after 300 years. The world you knew is no longer there. Cities have changed. People are strangers to you, and the language you speak no longer makes sense. Even the money you carry has lost all value. You might think this is a science fiction story, but it is a true divine miracle mentioned in the Quran and in other holy books. It's the story of the people of the cave, young men who fell asleep in a cave by God's will and woke up as a sign for all people.
I'm Madian, and this is the Mr. Madian channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any new content. Here we share stories full of secrets, discoveries, and amazing facts. Now, let's begin the story.
A long time ago, there was a tyrant ruler who forced people to abandon their faith and worship idols. But amidst this corruption and oppression, there were a group of young men who believed in God and held on to their faith despite the threats. When the king found out about them, he decided to punish them harshly, so they had no choice but to flee. They traveled for a long distance until they reached an abandoned cave where they decided to rest for a while. What they didn't expect was that God had prepared for them a great miracle that would be remembered until the end of time. By God's command, they fell into sleep in a way unlike any other. It wasn't just an ordinary sleep, but a sleep by divine miracle, where their lives completely stopped as if time had frozen within the cave. The most astonishing thing is that God preserved their bodies without any change. They didn't decay, nor did they die from hunger or thirst. They were in a state of suspended animation, while the world outside the cave continued to change and evolve for centuries. God did not leave them without care. He made the sun tilt away from the entrance of the cave in a special way, and he caused their bodies to turn regularly so they wouldn't decay. All of these details confirm that what happened was a supernatural divine miracle that goes beyond human understanding. After over 3 centuries, God allowed them to wake up. They opened their eyes, moved, and felt like they had only slept for one night. But they felt hungry, so one of them decided to go to the city to buy some food. And here came the surprise. Everything had changed. The buildings, the people, the language, and even the currency they were carrying no longer existed. Yet they still didn't realize the magnitude of the miracle that had occurred to them. When the young man tried to buy food, the merchant looked at him in disbelief, for the money he was carrying was very old, and it had now become an artifact only known to historians. People started gathering around him, asking, "Who are you? Where did you come from?" As people began asking questions, the young man hurried back to his companions in the cave to warn them about what was happening. When the people followed them, they discovered the incredible story, one that was too big for any human mind to believe. They were face to face with living proof of God's power to control time, life, and death. The people realized that these were the very young men mentioned in the holy books, and that God had preserved them to be a sign and a lesson for all generations. After a short time, the young men disappeared from sight by God's will, and nothing more was known about them after that. Some stories say they returned to sleep inside the cave, while others believe God took them up to himself, thus ending one of the greatest miracles in history. To this day, the exact location of their cave remains unknown, but several places are believed to be the possible location of the cave of the people of the cave. The most famous are the Cave of the Rakim in Jordan. This is the most well-known location, believed by some to be the true site of the miracle. Caves in Turkey, Afghanistan, Syria, and Spain. Some researchers have suggested that the cave might be in these areas, but there is no conclusive evidence. But regardless of the exact location, the story remains an eternal proof of God's power. And a message to every human being that time, death, and life are all in His hands alone. The story of the people of the cave is not just a tale, but a divine miracle confirmed in the Quran and mentioned in other holy books. It is a reminder that God is capable of everything and that time is in His hands. He gives life to whomever He wills, and He causes death to whomever He wills, and He does what He pleases by His command. What do you think of this great story? Did you know these details before? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to support the channel with a like and subscribe so we can continue bringing you more stories filled with secrets and miracles. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to support us in delivering more great content. And be sure to browse through our previous videos, as you may find something that sparks your interest and takes you on an exciting journey full of secrets and discoveries. See you in the next video.